All right. Hans Tim still here with my guy, Breadman. How you feeling today?
I'm good, man. How you?
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool, man. No complaints. Let's jump right into it. It's a lot to talk about. I'm not gonna I think Haney is the clear guy to maybe talk about a little bit, but I want to talk about Benavidez, man. This guy. Make my question real short and sweet. Who the hell is beating that guy,
You know what, man? I don't know.
man?
I don't know. He's the best fighter that I've ever coached against.
Mm,
He's really good. He's probably a great fighter.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think he beats Bivol and Beterbiev at 175.
Mhm.
Um, I favor him over Zurdo Ramirez at cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Uh, I think I don't think he could beat Usyk, but I think he could hold his own. Um, Maybe Jai Apataya and him is a good fight, but I got to see more of Jai Apataya. That's a really good fight because he's athletic and he's big and strong, and
Yeah.
David will have to respect what he's running up on against him because that dude has some athleticism. But I have to see him navigate through the rounds versus elite opponents. He's good. Apataya is good. He looks the part, but I would like to see a little bit more. But it looks like Benavidez is going to try his luck at cruiserweight, and I don't know if he's going to move up the cruiserweight and move back down. But in an era where people like look at guys like the context of their body, I think that he's not body beautiful, but I think it works for him. I think in other eras or in the same way in era, he's like 1970s, 1980s size heavyweight. But because he has a lot of body fat and you could weigh in, you know, 36 hours before your fight, he can make a lower weight and lose the weight and then put it back on. And I'm not calling him a weight bully. I don't like that word. You make the weight, you make the weight. But he's good. He's he's really, really good. He you can see why kind of Canelo just didn't want to face him. It's just a lot to deal with. He's a lot younger. He's coming downhill, over top of him. He's taller. He's punching down on him. It'd have been a tough fight for Canelo. It's a pace that I don't know if Canelo could have kept up with. And the only chance that Canelo would have had is to clip him when Canelo was at his best around 2020, 2021. The fight didn't happen then, but you can kind of see why. It's kind of weird, but David losing his belt for his out of the ring, situation, it kind of like it allowed Canelo to slip in and not be able to fight him and get all of the belts without having to go through him. And that's David's fault, obviously, but Canelo was very fortunate that he had that situation because if he didn't, that'd have been a tough fight for Canelo. It really would have been.
I love the fact that you brought up Jayo Patai because that's a guy that I look at. I'm just like, oh, Jayo Patai is one of them guys, man. But other than Jayo Patai, like if you had to like rank Zurdo, Bivol, and Beterbiev in terms of guys that you think that can beat Benavidez or give him like the biggest run, how would you rank that?
Bivol and Beterbiev even, and Zurdo a notch below them. Bivol just completely dominated Zurdo when he fought. I think Zurdo is a very good fighter, and I respect him. I do. I think he's a heck of a fighter, but I don't look at him and see great fighter. I thought Bivol shut him out. You know what I'm saying? And when the guy shuts you out over 12 rounds, you know what I mean? Is either a bad style matchup or he's just a superior fighter to you. And I feel like that Bivol is superior to Zurdo. So I would rank Zurdo below Benavidez and Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev is a little bit older, but he punches so hard and he has pedigree and he doesn't need a lot of room to get off his punches. Obviously, David had to be really careful because David's not going to run from him. He's going to step to him, and Beterbiev is throwing rocks. But I think that David punches and bunches will probably be a little bit too much for Beterbiev right now. And I think that he gets off a little bit too quick for Beterbiev. So Beterbiev is going to be hitting him with 1 and 2 shots, and David's going to be hitting him with 4 and 5 shots. And I like David's youth in that fight. With Bivol, Bivol's a tremendous fighter. I got tremendous amount of respect for him, but it seems like that the way he moves and he doesn't fight on the inside, Benavidez can kind of force him to over move and move more than what he would like to move and force him to kind of run out of gas. For as good as Bivol's conditioning is, he does take off rounds because he fights in the constant bounce all night. And I think that Beterbiev's pressure and Benavidez's pressure is different. Beterbiev is more calculated. He has actually have good footwork and defense, but it's more subtle and calculated, where Benavidez is a little more frenetic. And I think that he will force a harder pace on Bivol than what Beterbiev does. And it's something interesting. I know sparring is not everything, and I have seen guys get the better of guys in sparring and then try to fight them and not get the better of them. I get that. But Benavidez seems very confident about their sparring sessions.
Yeah.
He's almost like it's a different kind of confidence, and Bivol never refutes it. He never says, well, that didn't happen. He didn't get the better of me. He didn't beat me up. He never says it. So the fact that they're pretty much suggesting that he beat Bivol up a few times and stopped him, it's like, damn, like he never, and I'm not saying who's telling the truth or who's lying. I'm just looking at what they're saying. And one guy just pretty much says, I dominated him in sparring, and there's reports that he stopped him, and the other guy never says anything. Now, Bivol's a quiet, humble guy, and maybe, it's like, maybe he was at a different part of camp. Maybe he was cutting weight. I don't know the circumstances, but David Shore is confident about what happened in the ring with them. And I wasn't there, obviously, but I favor Benavidez to edge that.
Well, let me ask you a little bit of an interesting question. What do you think will be more difficult for Benavidez to deal with? Beterbiev's power or Bivol's distance control?
Beterbiev power.
Mm, okay.
I think David likes it when you run from him. I
Hmm,
think that gives him a snowball effect, and
yeah.
I think he likes that, and he can drown you out that way.
Okay.
I think he likes that. I think Beterbiev it creates a certain kind of anxiety when the guy punch like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all night long, you like, God damn, man, I'm getting. You know what I mean? It creates a certain kind of anxiety. You could be a limited guy, and I'm not saying Beterbiev is limited, but you could be a limited guy. But if you got freakish punching power, it could take you a certain way because nobody wants to get knocked out.
Mm,
So look at Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has a lot of critics, but he defended his title 10 times. He made a bunch of money. He didn't have a huge amateur background. He won a world championship. He had a very good career for a guy that's viewed as limited. You know what I mean? And the reason why he did is because he got a monster right hand. Where Beterbiev has a two-fisted attack. To me, he's a better puncher than Wilder because he doesn't need the room that Wilder need. He has a two-fisted attack, and he has a bigger variety of punches. So that's a lot to just deal with, knowing that, you know what I mean. If he hits you clean, he could do some kind of damage to you, and he's gonna hit Benavidez because Benavidez is gonna step to him. That's how Benavidez fights.
yeah.
So I think that's I don't know if I would pick Benavidez if this was 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But it's not. The man is 41, and 41 is 41.
Yeah.
So I pick Benavidez to beat him. I think Benavidez gets off a little too quick for him.
Do you think, and just from the outside looking in, but do you think the play is one about a 75? Gonna be Zurdo, maybe gonna fight Opatai. That would make a lot of sense. And then eventually, if I could do that in enough time, I can fight Usyk. Dude, does that kind of seem like that's his play?
I think that if he fights Zurdo, which they said is done for Cinco de Mayo,
Mhm.
I don't think he's going to chance Apatai. I think he's going to go straight to Usyk
Think so?
because Japatai, if Japatai beats him, or he struggles with him. Listen, I don't know anything. I'm not the I'm not part of Team Benavidez. I'm just going by what I see in this era,
Yeah.
right? So if Job Apatai beats Benavidez or Benavidez struggles with him, it takes the luster off of the Usyk fight because people will assume if he can't beat or dominate Apatai at cruiserweight, he's not going to beat the best heavyweight of the generation at heavyweight. That's just what people are going to say. I'm not saying it's true or false. I'm just saying what they're going to say. So my guess would be if he beats Zurdo, he going to go straight to Usyk in a super fight. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I definitely don't have to be right about this. But
Yeah.
just nobody in boxes chances that kind of stuff anymore. And Jai Patai is a tough fight for David. You know what I mean? He's tough because he's athletic. He can move, and then he can punch too. And he's not old. You know what I mean? So he's as young as David. He has the young reflexes. He don't have the wear and tear on him. That's a hard fight. I don't know who takes that fight, and I don't know if David's handlers. I don't think David's scared of nobody. I think he'll fight a Mack truck if you put one in front of him.
Yeah.
But I don't think his handlers would risk dealing with Apatai when they could go straight to Usyk and probably make close to $100 million. Why even risk it? You know what I mean? That's just me guessing because of the logistics and the status quo of today's boxing.
Um, I would just say that, and maybe I'm crazy, but I think Opatai versus Benavidez might be like a top two fight in boxing. That's just an amazing fight. And he's also what you always say. He's a mean dude, man. Like
I
Opatai,
think Benavidez versus Bivol, Beterbiev, or Apatai are great fights, and there's fights where there's no predetermined winner.
yeah,
I think that Zurdo is a level below all three of them. And there's no disrespect, but what I see in Zurdo and what I saw in Zurdo's fight with Bivol and a couple other his fights, I don't view him as the same level of talent as they are. So I think all three of those fights is huge, historically significant fights, you know. But like I said, Bivol seems to have an injury. I'm not sure what's going on with Beterbiev. And I don't know what's going on with Apatai and his management or promotion either, because I feel like he should be a bigger star at this time. And they should have had a unification with Ramirez a long time ago. So I'm not sure what's going on with that either. But Benavidez is the hot one out of the names, and he's going to be able to, call the shots after that last performance.